Alright, we are doing systems, so more systems of multiple, as in 3 or more, variables. We'll mainly focus on 3 variables though. So hopefully you've gotten familiar with how to solve systems of 2 variables, and let's just kind of review that. And I'm just going to make up one. Let's say I have 2x plus 3y equals 8, and I have, let's say, 5x plus 4y equals negative 2. In this case, we definitely would want to use elimination. So which variable would you want to eliminate? Okay, x. Now I need the least common multiple, which is 10. And I need them to also be opposite in sign. So I'll just multiply the top equation by 5, because I'm giving my 10, so I get 10x plus 15y equals 40. And I'll multiply the bottom equation by negative 2. That way I get my negative 10, so negative 10x minus 8y equals 4. And then I combine those. I eliminate the x's, and I get 7y equals 44. And then I divide by 7. So of course when you make up a problem, you know, off the top of your head, it's not going to come out nice. Now what do I do with that 44 over 7?
Put it back into y?
Yeah, I put it back into y, and it's going to be messy no matter which one I choose. So I'll just choose that one. So 5x plus 4 times 44 over 7 equals negative 2. So this is top times top, bottom times bottom, so I'm going to do 44 times 4. And I get 176 over 7. I have my 5x. Now I could clear the fraction if I wanted to. So let's clear the fraction. What would I multiply by?
7.
7. So I'll get 35x plus 176 equals negative 14. And then I'll subtract that 176, so I'll have negative 14 minus 176. And I'll get negative 190. And then I divide by my 35. So I have negative 190 over 35, which reduces to negative 38 over 7. So don't be surprised, especially when I'm making up the problem, that you get something really weird. But fractions are allowed, so don't assume that just because you have fractions that you have made a mistake. Maybe you didn't. So that's our answer right there for that problem I made up. All right, now we're going to go to 3 or more variables. So this takes up a lot of space, so leave yourself lots of room. So notice I have a z in the mix. As you write that down, I'll go ahead and talk through the process. So what we're ultimately going to do is we're going to pair off each of these. We have to involve every equation somehow in the process of solving. Now, if we have something simpler where we have an equation that's missing one of the variables, that's fine, don't freak out, it's actually easier. So this is actually a harder example of what we need to do. We have to eliminate one variable at a time. Alright, so I'm going to choose to eliminate z. And the reason I'm going to choose to eliminate z is because I see if I add these, the z's go away, and if I add the first and last one. Okay? So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose one equation to pair off with the other two. So I'm going to take my 2x minus y plus z equals 4, and I'm going to pair that off with each of the other two. I'm It's going to be, you are definitely going to want to write your work be very meticulous and as neat as possible, as organized as possible, because of how there are a lot of steps. I mean, there's just no way around it. You can, just FYI, you can do these by substitution. I just find it's so confusing. Elimination is by far the best way to approach these, so we won't even talk about how to do them with substitution. Okay, I'm going to add these, and notice what eliminates. The Z. Don't freak out if more than one eliminates. That's okay. It makes it easier if one eliminates, because if you already know what one variable is, the steps get way easier. So notice I also eliminated Y in that one. Okay? Normally, that doesn't happen. Normally, I'll actually also have a Y in here. So we'll talk about what happens with that. So on this one, why not just take it a step further and finish, right? X equals what? 3. Okay? So if you can find out one of the variables right away, go ahead and do it. So now we're going to take that 3 and we're going to go, oh, I know what 3 is. Put it up here so that I can find what variable? Y. I already know what X is. So I have 3 times 3 plus 2Y equals 15. And now I get 9 plus 2Y. Notice how I left space so that I could do this. And then I subtract my 9 and I get 2Y equals 6. So I did run out of space here. So Y equals, I thought I left myself space, but I was wrong. Y also equals 3. Now I take both of those, I have X and Y, and I put them into one of these. It doesn't matter which one of these I choose. I'll just choose this one right here. So I have 4 times 3 plus 3 minus Z equals 14. So I get 12 plus 3 minus Z equals 14. And I could have chose any 3 of those, or any one of those 3. 15 minus Z. Subtract my 15, and Z equals 1. So what's my answer now? I'm going to put these in alphabetical order. X, Y, Z. And 3, 3, 1. And once again, just to pick on Caroline because it's fun too, if you have the Casio calculator, you can go to simultaneous in your solver and put these in. If they're right in order, you just got to make sure they're in order, and it will solve it for you, so you can check your answer. I tried to tell them, Courtney. I tried. I've said it for years.
They were trying to get one, but Texas was cheaper.
The Casio, the low-end Casio is like $40.
The one they have?
The one they have is like $40 or $30. Yours is probably 80 or 90.
Yeah.
Depending upon what deal was going on at the time.
He said it was cheaper.
Well, this is what happens when you ignore King. Alright, let's do the next one. It's okay, maybe Courtney will have mercy on you when you want to check your homework. Maybe. So I do recommend that you get in the habit, if you haven't already, of putting a little line through your Z's. That way you can tell the difference between a 2 and a Z. Because like right up here, that could become problematic for you. Alright, this one we are not going to get as lucky. We are not going to accidentally, I don't think, eliminate 2 variables at once. If that happens, yay, it's way easier. So I'm going to choose a variable that I'm going to eliminate. Which variable do you want to get rid of? X, Z, I heard. Okay, X gets an extra vote. Alright, so now, of these 3, I'm going to choose one of them to use to eliminate in the other 2. So I'm just going to choose this one. Okay? So I'm going to pair that one off with the other two. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm going to set up negative x minus 2y plus z equals 10. And I'm going to pair it off with the other two. So I'll pair it off with the first one. Do you see what I'm doing? And then hopefully I'll actually leave myself correct space again. So I paired it with the first one and I pair it with the second one. And you don't have to do this box around it. I just did that to emphasize what's going on here for you. To hopefully make this organized. So now, you see how I split this one system into two different systems? Now this first one, we have to eliminate the same variable in both of them. And we're choosing to eliminate x. So I want to eliminate x in both of them. So this one's going to be easy. I eliminate, and I'm going to write this in blue just so you see how this is going to line up. The x's eliminate. I get negative y plus 3z equals 13. And right here, what do I have to do? Yeah, this one's not going to eliminate, is it? So what do I have to do? Multiply it by 2. So I'm just going to save myself some space right here, and I'm going to erase that, and I'm going to multiply this by 2 right away. So negative 2x minus 4y plus 2z equals 20. I multiplied that all by 2. Now I'll pair it off with that same one. I just did that so I saved myself some space. You can do it in little steps if you want. It doesn't matter. All right, now when I combine, the x's eliminate. So I get negative 3y plus 5z equals 27. Now I'm just curious if any of you, especially since I did it in a color, are able to figure out what we will do next.
Bring those two together?
Yes. I'm going to take these two and form a new system with each of these with the eliminated variable. So I have negative y plus 3z equals 13, and I have negative 3y plus 5z equals 27. I have formed a new system with those two in which I'm going to eliminate a variable. And hopefully you recognize the y is going to be the one I'm going to want. That's the easiest one. Now I could eliminate z. If I did z, I'd multiply by 5 and 3. But here, all I need to do is I'm going to multiply that one by negative 3. That way I get a positive right there. So I get 3y watch out, minus 9z equals negative 39. And then I can use that to eliminate with this other one. So now I can eliminate. Now where you put this in your work, it just worked out that I had space right here, so that's why I put it there. Organize your work in a way that makes sense with this. You have a whole paper, so whatever is going to make sense that you can follow along with. I would strongly recommend, as you get numbers that you half box them so you can find them easy, our y's eliminate, and we get negative 4z equals, what's negative 39 plus 27? Yep, negative 12. Good. And then we divide by negative 4 and get 3. So now I know my 3. Now what am I going to do? Well, I have either one of these two. I can put that 3 in order to get my y. So I'm going to take that 3. I'll just put it into this one right here. So I get negative y plus, now 3 times 3 is 9. And I'll subtract my 9. Negative y equals 4, which means y equals negative 4. So I'll half box that. So I'm almost there, right? Now I take both of those, and I'll just come over here to this one that I boxed, but I could use any of these.
Wait, 13 minus 9 is not negative 4. Wait, okay, so you just switch the sign.
Yeah, because I had a negative y. Alright, so now I have to take my y and my z, and I'll go over here. I don't know how much room I'll have. I'll do it in black down here at the bottom. I'm going to take my numbers here, so I have negative x minus 2 times negative 4 plus our 3 equals 10. That's going to be a positive 8. That should be a 10. Negative x equals negative 1, so x equals 1. F box, what's my final answer? 1, negative 4, 3. Final full box answer.
You plugged in the 3 to whatever you got out of the first system?
When I did my first pairings, because I have two variables here, so if I know one of them, I can use that 3 in order to get the other one.
So you go there and not the original?
Yeah, because I have 3 variables here. If I know one of them, that's not going to be enough to find the others. So I go to, so after I get my first number, I go back to one of these that I'm circling. Where is it? Yeah, right there. I go back to one of those. Doesn't matter which one.
So you go.
Yeah, after I get one number, I don't necessarily go all the way back to the beginning. I go back to one of the half steps.
Because you need to be able to solve for a number.
Yeah. Okay. I hope you get the process of it. There is a lot of room for error, isn't there? Like one tiny thing is going to throw off your answer, which is why I do want you to use your calculator to check your work. I don't care if you put in the system right at the beginning and know what the answer should be to save yourself some time, but I am looking for all that work. Let's try one. Sometimes we have a system where a variable is already eliminated. And sometimes that throws you off. Like I tried to practice those hard ones so much that we never get to practice the easier ones. And the only thing that's making either of these difficult is that, well, first of all, it's not written in the right order. Like this one's out of order. I also have, like in this second equation, z is eliminated, and in this equation, y is eliminated. So that might cause us some constipation.
Constipation.
Yeah. Okay, so I have to involve all 3 equations. If a variable is already eliminated, like this one's eliminated z, right? And this one eliminated y.
Yeah.
So when I go to split these off, I am not going to be able to select y or z to eliminate. Because they're already done on these two, and I'll just end up going in a circular reason. So in this case, I am forced to select x. Because I don't have, see, this one doesn't have a y to deal with, and this one doesn't have a z to deal with. Now, I suppose we could just choose, No, what? Erase that. No, we aren't forced to select x. We are not forced to do that. Erase that. No, I mean, I would do x simply because I have x's in all of them, and then I would go about it that way. But let's do this. Let's take, we are going to have to use this one. Okay, and let's choose to eliminate y. Okay, so we're going to select y. Now on this one, notice y is already gone. You get what I'm saying?
So
All right, so I'm going to pair this one off with this. So I'll pair this one with the other equation. So I have, now that's not a negative, just so that we're aware. That's just a scribble. So I have 2x plus 3y minus 2z equals negative 1. I just have to involve all 3 in my equations. I'll pair it off with this other one. Now, this one already has y eliminated, so I do not need to pair it off. But I am going to need to use it, so I'm going to put it down here so I remember to use it. I do have to use every equation that I'm given somehow. So I will put it in the right order as well. So I'm putting this one down here. I'm not going to pair it off because it already has eliminated y. All right, here, I'm going to eliminate y, but I need to get a common multiple. So the common multiple is 15, right? So I'm going to multiply the top one by 5. And I'll multiply the bottom one by -3. Now, don't let yourself get flustered here. Even though there's not a z to line up here, that doesn't matter. I'm just line it up with nothing. My y's eliminate. Do you see that I'm going to have to pair that one with this one? All right, so which variable do you want to eliminate on the next step? Okay, x. What's my common multiple? 35. So I'll multiply the top one by 7 and the bottom one by 5. So I'll do this in green, so I'll do it over here. Just organize your work somehow. -35 plus 28z equals 28. And then 35x minus 50z equals 32 times 5. 160. So -160. Ugh. So then we do 28 minus 50. We get -22z. And then 28 minus 160. -132. Boy, I sure hope that's divisible by 22. Yay, it is. Oh gosh, we got the wrong answer. Oh wait, z. Z is 6. Yes, that's correct. Okay, that's good. Whew. I was like, what? That's not what they have. But it is. Okay. I'm going to take that and put it into one of these in order to find x or z. Or x, rather. So I'll just put it in right here. So we get 7x minus 60 equals -32. I'll add my 60. And I'll divide by 7. Hopefully you can follow along with how to solve that. Now I have both of these, right? And I need a y. Now I could get y right here with this one. Do you see this one? There's less to substitute in, so I'll use that one. So I have 4 plus 5y equals 9. Subtract my 4. Divide by 5. So our final answer is 416. When you do your work on this, it'll be beneficial, I think, if you put your final answer close to the original problem. And then I'll look for your work there. I don't want to have to hunt for that, is what I'm saying. But you should always have the right answer because you can check on your calculator. Let's do one more easier one. Sometimes these easier ones with a variable already eliminated actually end up being more tricky, even though they actually are easier. Anyone have a headache yet?
I just way too many arrows.
It's like, how do I follow this? Oh no! Each one, this one has an x gone, this one has a z gone, this one has a z gone. Alright, so let's eliminate z. No, we can't do that.
Yeah, let's say.
We can't do that. Let's eliminate x or y. Which one?
X.
X. Sure. Let's eliminate X. So this one, you see, this one doesn't have an X. Do you see what I'm saying? So I have to involve that somehow, so I'll just copy it down so that I remember, hey, I have to involve all three of these somehow. So I'm just going to pair off these two. Do you see what I'm saying? And we're going to eliminate, you might even want to write down your goal. We're eliminating initially X. That way we can pair it off with this one and eliminate Y or Z. So I'm going to multiply this first one by -3. Any questions by Y? So I'm just going to do that right away. I might write here, like times -3, so I know what I did. The other one I don't need to do anything to. And now when we add down, we eliminate the X. Now I divide by 5, -5.
Then we -3.
I get -3. Right? Wow, that made this really easy. Now I'm going to take that and put it down here. I have to involve all three. I can't just ignore this one. You see what I'm saying? Boy, that one really worked out nice. Like, this is the praise the Lord one that I have less work to do. So now we have Z. Now I take both of those and I need to get an X. So I'm going to have to use one of these to get X because that one doesn't have an X. So I'll just use this one. So X plus 3 times -3 equals -4. And I get 5. So our final answer, 5, -3, -2. Alright, I don't want to make this video portion much longer. So I'm going to put up 3 examples with the answers. And then for the rest of the class, you'll work on getting those answers.
Why did you put in -3?
I used this one, and that one doesn't have a Z in it. So I didn't need to replace the -2. I could have chosen
that's
one.
-4 there.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. Alright, so here are the ones that we'll do.
So we do these in our notes.
Yeah, do these in your notes. But I'm going to put the answers up for if you were to watch this later, you could know what you were supposed to get. I will talk about that one in a moment. Just let me finish writing these. System, and one more. I'll put it down here. All right. Look as I talk about this one. Notice how this one has X equals -3Z. This is one where actually is the rare case where substitution works better. I would replace instances of X in these other two with -3Z and it'll work a lot faster. Now, if you don't want to do it that way, you could go ahead and just take this and get the 3Z to the other side. And then ignore that. You see what I'm saying? So if you don't want to try it with substitution, you can just go ahead and move that over. Now, I'm not going to teach you how to do these with substitution. I think it's hard enough with elimination. So we'll just stick with that. But if you see an easier method and you're comfortable, go ahead. All right, so the answers. So we'll say this is number 1, this is number 2, number 3. Number 1, we should get, I'm assuming that I'm lining these up correct. I hope I am.